Hey guys, Mix here, and in today's video we are back working on my 1974 Corvette, and the reason I'm doing the intro in the car is because the wind is absolutely howling today, and I'm kind of losing my voice a little bit, so bear with me in today's video. But in the last video with this thing, we got the engine back into the car after just doing a refresh and cleaning it up. But if you guys are new here, the reason we took it out is because the throwout bearing, the clutch, was completely shot. It was making the worst screeching noise in the world when you would push in the clutch, but in last video, once we got this thing to fire up, we heard that that problem has been solved and the engine is running great, but there is a few things that we need to fix before we can really drive it and test it out. So there is an exhaust leak at the header and like pipe connection, like the collector. One under me, because this is a true dual exhaust, completely disintegrated when we had the headers out. And then the one over here isn't leaking that bad, but we're gonna go ahead and replace it anyway. I did get brand new aluminum gaskets this time for them, so that should be good, and some new hardware as well. And this is the one that's really good on the passenger side. Well, really still kind of good. It's obviously not in the best of shape. And as you guys can see, this is the one that's on the driver's side, and it's not doing anything at all. This literally the only section that has it, so that's just useless. And then another thing that we need to do before going ahead and driving it is, when we ran it for the first time, I saw that it was smoking a little bit over here, and we did have a big coolant leak, and that did burn off, but there is actually an oil leak coming from the fuel pump spacer gasket, which is actually the literally only gasket in this engine that I did not replace because I simply just forgot about it, because I did the fuel pump one, but there's like a spacer that's underneath it that I did not do. If you see when I put my hand under here, there is oil leaking out, and you can really see it from the bottom. So I do actually already have that gasket. It came with the kit for the entire engine, so that's good. But that should be the only two things that I saw so far, just based on running it, that seems to be of an issue, both of which are not huge issues, obviously. But once we get those two things fixed, I want to go ahead and take this thing out and just kind of shake it down, make sure everything's feeling okay, make sure it's shifting good, make sure the clutch feels good, because we do have a brand new McLeod Super Street Pro racing clutch in it, so that's really good. It should be really good for the street, not like overkill, but it can handle up to 550 horsepower. And just already like feeling it, the clutch feels so much lighter than how it did before. The clutch that was in it wasn't bad when I took it out, but I just went ahead and replaced it anyway because we're right there. But I had a very heavy clutch pedal, so this should definitely be a little bit more streetable. And yeah, that's enough chit chat. Let's just go ahead and jump into it and just knock out those few things so we can get this thing onto the road. Hey guys, so I just got the two new flanges on the exhaust and then the new gasket on the fuel pump. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is fire it up, let it run for a little bit, and just look underneath the car and see if we see oil underneath that spacer for the fuel pump, because that's where I saw it last time. It's very visible from the bottom, so we'll just keep our eyes on that. I'm going to check the oil, and then as long as everything checks out, we're going to take this thing for a little test drive, and everything goes to plan. Go ahead and check that oil. I can already tell it sounds so much better with those header flanges on there. They look perfect. Alright, so after just letting it run for a little bit and build up oil pressure, I'm not sure how well you guys can be able to see it, but under there is where that plate was, and I don't see any oil leaking at all, which is a great sign. So with that being said, I think we're ready for the test drive. Alrighty guys, so here we go. I am very nervous, not gonna lie. I have my fire extinguisher ready, just in case. Woo. So we don't have that much fuel. So what I want to do is just put it around like the local roads and just make sure everything looks okay. I am running no hood, so we can see like if it's smoking at all. I do expect there to be a little bit of smoke, but you know, if there's a lot, then we got an issue. But we do need gas really bad, so I'm not going to drive it around too long. I do need to hit the gas station very soon. I actually should go there right away. You know what? I think we're just going to go there right away, and that'll be the test there and on the way back. Hopefully the cops don't stop me because there's no hood. It's not illegal. I did make sure I looked it up, but still it might raise some eyebrows. All right, e-brake is off. Here we go. There's reverse, and we're moving. Clutch feels good. We have brakes, yep. And we're moving. Before we go out into like the open road, I probably am just gonna pull over quick and check everything out. I'll pull over right here. I'm just gonna hop out quick and check things out. Everything seems to be okay. There is a slight like kind of like rattle noise coming from the water pump, it sounds like. So hopefully that isn't going bad. I mean, if we start overheating, then that'll tell us, but as far as leaks and everything, we seem to be good. All right, here we go. This is the test right here. Back, baby. So in order to break in this clutch, I have to stay off like highways and just kind of always pushing the clutch, you know, always change gears for 500 miles. Now I think ever since I've owned this thing, I haven't driven it 500 miles, so it's gonna take a while to break this in. But I'm not seeing any smoke up front or anything yet. Seems to be holding temp at about 180, which is good. That I put a 180 degrees thermostat in it. Don't hear any clunking or rattling or anything like that. So we're pulling up to the gas station now. That was not cheap. Don't let me down. Start up for me. Ooh. Fired right up. Gas gauge is working. We're at half a tank. I definitely think it's shifting a little bit better with this new clutch and with the new tranny fluid in it. If you guys saw last video, you guys saw how much metal was in that tranny fluid. It was alarming, so this tranny's definitely on the way out. We're gonna try and make it live as long as we can. So good. All right, so I don't know how well you guys can be able to hear it, but if I go in front of the engine towards the water pump, you can hear kind of like that knock type noise. I don't think it's a rod or anything because it sounds way up here. It might even be the fan. I don't see any leak at the fuel pump. All right, I think we're good. Oh, it sounds so good. There was good oil pressure at idle charging, and you can see we were pretty much fully warmed up, so definitely really, really good. I definitely think that the clutch release point is a little bit lower than how it was before. Before it was really high, so it's definitely much nicer than how it was before, and it feels solid. I haven't felt any slip or anything like that yet. It's time to head back, but it felt pretty good. So for the first test drive, that was really, really good. I mean, the thing is running amazing. It's starting up immediately. It's turnkey. It's holding temp, has great oil pressure, sounds amazing. No more exhaust leaks, no more oil leaks. So I think once it burns off the rest of that like little oil residue, then we'll be good. But that just comes with driving it more. So this thing, I believe, is ready for the summer. Just that one thing, that knock, which I believe is the water pump. But I'm going to investigate it more and tread lightly with the engine. Make sure not to rev it up too high until we confirm that it is the water pump, which would suck because I just obviously had it out. It wasn't making that noise before, but maybe it fell and I didn't realize or something and got a little bent out of shape, but might have to get a little like automotive stethoscope and put it up to it and put it around the engine to make sure that it is just that. Anyway guys, with that being said, I'm going to be ending off this video here. Like I said before, definitely super happy how the engine looks and how it's running, but the car all around is performing great. But anyway guys, follow my social medias. They'll be on the outro of this video, Instagram and Snapchat I use the most. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, tell your friends about the channel.